All right, we're back with a quick end of day video. This is 2022, and this is, I think, our first end of day PulseWave report for the new year. New format, new way of doing things. We're really focusing on tracking the collapse as it was, and so in order to do that, we've narrowed down some major uh, economic parts of the economy that really need to be watched and watched heavily. So we're going to be keeping our thumb on the pulse of the U.S. economy along with the global economy. And the best way to do that is to track what we call our leading indicators. All right. So we're going to start off with the bond market. This is ticker TLT. All right. And this is how this one is shaping up. So if you remember in the last night's bull panel discussion, we talked about the bond market and we said we had a rally alert coming into today. Lo and behold, here's a rally that we got today. So round of applause for the pulse waves here, hitting that rally alert call today. And let's see here. Give me just a second. Let's see. Yep. So that's, you can see we're still under the steep correction here. And I think we may get back up to maybe 145, somewhere around there, before hitting the resistance. We do have this gap here that was created that's going to need to be filled. So that could even that may extend the market to maybe 147, as high as 147, but major resistance up in here. And then you get to the air pocket between the bottom of the Kumo cloud and the trend line. So that's where we are right now on this one. All right, let's pull up our next chart. All right, the next one we're going to look at is the US dollar. All right, so here is our chart with the US dollar. And you can see here, it's still under a correction, but you're getting that sideways to slightly bearish action. The market's really staying at the lower end of the trading range, not really accelerating until today. Today, you broke rank. You took out the trend line support and closed below it. That puts the market into the Kumo cloud. You got a major support zone between, I will just call it 94.5. All right, that's the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So you're in the red zone. You're in a corrective state, and the market is accelerating to the downside with a lot of bearishness here. Of course, the inverse relationship between the U.S. dollar and commodities is the lower the dollar goes, the higher the prices in your commodities is supposed to correlate, right? Well, if we take a look at what happened in the soybean market today, it may leave you scratching your head because we now put in the first day of a correction in soybeans. So now we're officially in corrective territory. Trend line support down around the 1,300 mark, so about the $13 a bushel mark is where the initial target is on this pullback. We came into today with a crash alert sell signal, and we got some downside production, even making a bearish pointer on the day. So again, another round of applause for the post waves and nailing another call here. All right, next up we have the precious metals. Let's take a look at gold and silver. All right, so last night I showed you how gold and silver have been in a sideways holding pattern since 2020. So all last year was a wash. You didn't get any kind of production on that. And here you are today. Okay, so this is what we did today. The market tried to get a little bit of a bounce today, nice little rally, but you're still in the corrective phase. You didn't quite get out of that corrective phase, and you created a gap. So you know that all that you made today is going to have to be given back to close the gap that was made today. All right. And the market is still flip-flopping. All right, so the sideways bar for this year started on January 3rd of this year. So this is going to be our side consolidation bar. And I think that's what the price action is going to be pretty much held to in the short term. Flipping the script now to silver, taking a look at what silver's doing. You'll notice here on the silver chart that you also had a bit of a little rally, but you had a gap up in order to do it. And the overhead trend line resistance is around the $23 mark. You're still under the corrective status. The market's trying to find a bottom, but it's really struggling to do so. Not a lot happening. And you got the increasing selling pressure in the market. So will the market be able to get back up to the trend line resistance? Maybe. But remember, silver's been having a very difficult time with the $23 handle. And so far, that has not changed. What about the tech sector? You've been hearing about the tech sector. And I showed you yesterday that all the hype and talk was nothing but talk. I showed you how the NASDAQ has been moving sideways for several weeks. Well, yesterday we got that rally alert buy signal I showed you last night in last night's bull panel. Well, we got that rally today. Overhead trend line resistance is still going to be a problem around the 1600 mark. And I don't know, that 16,000 mark is going to be a psychological resistance. That's what the overhead trend line resistance is. And then you have a little bit to go to the overhead top of the Kumo cloud around the 16,200 mark. You're still very much in a corrective status. You are in the red zone on this daily chart. So the markets as a whole are still under a lot of selling pressure. It's going to take a lot to get the markets to get out of it. The next issue we need to discuss is energy. Got to look at the crude oil issue right now. Crude oil rallied very powerfully today. You can see the momentum is there. You're still in an uptrend from the rally alert buy signal from December the 21st. The market's just been straight up, and you're in the green zone with no end in sight. I think the market's gunning for that $85 handle. We'll see if it can make it by the end of the week. And then the next thing we're going to look at is the Russell My Hustle. All right, you take a look at the Russell, which has pretty much been leading the way in the bear camp for the indexes. You have a rally alert buy signal that you did today. So we're looking for the Russell to get back around maybe the 2240, maybe 2240, maybe 2230. Overhead trend line resistance is pretty close to the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So that's going to serve as a very powerful point of resistance and a selling point for the bots to come in and start shorting the market. So you got to look at all of that. You have to consider all of that stuff when you're looking at these charts. But you do got the rally alert buy signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading. And last but not least, the mighty, mighty Bitcoin. All right, so today we put in a rally alert buy signal, and we had this bearish pointer from yesterday. You're still very much in a corrective state. You're in the red zone. Overhead trend line resistance is around the 50,000 point. Remember that that old resistance, the between the 50 and 55,000. That's the resistance zone, the old resistance zone for 2021. The one for 2020 was the 30 to 35,000. So that's pretty much where you are right now. You're kind of in a no man's land. Bitcoin, we're going to see if it can get back up here, but it's under a massive, and I do mean a massive amount of selling pressure, and it's going to be quite difficult for the market to overcome that. So you have to come into it understanding that it's not going to be easy. All right, you got a lot of overhead that you're going to have to overcome in order to make that leap. And right now the markets are just not having it. The bears are just knocking down everything that comes its way. Last but not least, here's ADA Cardano. You can see it's been in a down channel. We had a crash alert sell signal on December the 28th, and it's just been all down ever since. Today we put in a rally alert buy signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Overhead target is around the 140 to 145 mark. All right, and as you can see here, what did we do? We took out the bearish pointer from October 21st of 2021. Told you so. Remember, at some point, bearish pointers, bullish pointers do get reconciled. And so here we are. All right, that's all we got time for today. So with that being said, remember, smash that like button. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.